So my name's Emma Rawlings. I'm Chief Executive of Swindon Domestic Abuse Support Services.
Tell me how the presence of music in your life was actually helping you, maybe empowering you, kind of speaking for you or speaking through you, if you like.
So music's been a huge part of our family ever since I was very little. So my grandmother played the piano and my father was a pianist. Basically, he taught all of my siblings and myself piano from an early age, and he also did private lessons for the children in the village as well, so to help them learn piano. So and it was my grandmother's piano that I have here in my house now. So
you do? Oh, that's brilliant.
I still have my grandmother's piano, yes. So piano music, we always had piano music going on in the house because Dad was always playing and rehearsing, because he also played the church organ for the church. So he was always practicing, ready for the next, service or whatever might be happening, whether it's a funeral, whether it's a marriage. So he was always practicing and learning, and developing his passion and his level, because obviously piano music is very, very complex. And when you see the sheet music, you think, oh my gosh, how on earth can you possibly play that?
Right.
So then we actually had a massive electronic church organ in our house as well, with a full double keyboard and a full pedal board.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I know. So us children, with all the stops as well. So it had all the stops. It was electronic, obviously. And so we would play on it, basically, and one would be playing on the pedals and standing on the pedals, and one would be on one keyboard and one would be on the other keyboard, and one would be messing around with all the stops. So we kind of made a lot of noise, shall we say, in experimenting with music.
Don't you ask me anymore what it feels like. Only time can change it all. Stay deep in my heart. There is nothing else to hide. No, 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 I won't be shy. We connected the same way. Let's keep it alive. I'm calling to your soul. There's nothing I can do to get you out of my mind. I'll be waiting. I'm calling to your soul. There's nothing I can do to get you out of my mind. I'll be waiting. For you, 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 'cause I'll be waiting. It can only work this way. Let's keep it alive. Hundreds of years, millions of miles. Oh. So pure, so gentle, so nice, it will never feel no need to cry.
So there was a huge fun element to it. So it was entertaining, and we could see what noises it would make. So it also developed our skills. So, as part of all the stops, there was, a trombone, and there was making it sound. I cannot remember all the different stops, but it was making it all sound very different as well. And you could put all these different pitch and tones on all of the music. So it was experimenting, but we were learning as well in the same breath, which is always the best way to learn. So we grew up with this around. Now I can always remember going to sleep at night and hearing my dad practicing, and being this lovely place that I would be in. I'd be very relaxed and, drifting off to sleep, and I'm hearing Dad playing either Bach or Handel or, some of the great classics. And it was it was lovely. So I have this, it sort of resonates with me to be in a very relaxed mode to listen to piano music.
Relaxed and sort of safe place, right?
Even now, you know, working from home in this situation that we're in, I listen to piano music when I'm trying to just it's background music, but it's also very pleasant. It makes me feel very happy, and I just resonate with where I was with a child with it. So that was one type of music in our household. And also then growing up, my parents of a certain age I grew up with the record player, and we had on a Saturday morning we were doing housework and chores for mum, and we were allowed to put on whichever LP we wanted. So obviously there was only a limited choice, but you know, there was Buddy Holly, there was Elvis Presley, there was Roy Orbison, Lulu, ABBA. So all of those sorts of records that my parents had,
is
their LPs. We would do the housework to, and they, you know, some of them were quite fun, and we would jig around with the vacuum cleaner and the Hoover, and we would be cleaning the bathroom and dancing and, you know, cleaning the tiles and things. So it was also good fun, and it was something that Mum would let us do to make the chores not so, you know, be so laborious and so hard work, shall we say. So that was also really good fun. So, you know, having the tactile records, and, you know, obviously it was latest music and it's stuff that my parents grew up on, and it was rock and pop and, you know, whatever that genre, you know, is called. So we kind of grew up with all sorts of music. And then, as I'm one of 4 children, so my brothers grew up and got into heavy metal music. So my little brother took up the piano, and my sister kind of did, but it just didn't fall naturally with me. So my little brother then, I mean, he was amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, he was on grade 7 by the time he was 11 years old or something. He was just gifted like my dad. And so he then diversified into the electric guitar. So this is when, you know, sort of heavy metal came into the household a bit more, and obviously, you know, the Top of the Pops and all of those things that we were into as youngsters as well. So we then grew, you know, we always had music in the house. So we had Mum playing, you know, Buddy Holly and all her sorts of music, Dad on the piano, my brothers tuning into AC/DC and Guns N' Roses when they first came out, and Def Leppard and Iron Maiden and all of those sorts of rock groups blaring out of their bedrooms. And then my sister and I were very poppy, so it was you know, Madonna, Kylie, Bananarama, all of those sorts of poppy sorts of music. So it played a huge part in our household, and it was very happy, and music was a key part of it, and it still is in all of our households. You know, we've all got music. I'm always in the kitchen with music on, when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning, and it depends on where I'm at and what, you know, it helps to, you know, if you've had a hard day, to come home and sit down and have some relaxing music on, and that piano music and those sort of softer music. You know, my music, you know, if you looked at my playlist, it's a complete random playlist. I do have high energy music for when I'm in the gym, and I've got those sorts of, you know, lots of high energy beats, you know, where it's pumping out the beat, you know, getting the heart rate up to get you on the treadmill, to, you know, some really nice things like Nina Simone.
Staring lost and vacant through the trees, and though I've tried to fight, it seems I know I feel a little rejected. Then it came perching on my window pane. I said, it's not the time or place, it's a bad day, so you can forget it. Well, I've seen the tears are rolling down your face. That's what that birdie said to me. And I know a thing or two about mistakes. sings, why it 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 sings. Your three words don't mean a thing, 'cause now I know why that little bird sings. Now I admit I made you my whole world. I thought there'd never come a time you'd change your mind, and I would regret it. But sometimes it's just
Any track that in particular spoke through you, about you in that time? Was it any?
I think, like I said, when my sister got married, I'm a twin, so when my sister got married, I really struggled when she left home, obviously left me, as it were, because I was in the same bedroom with her for 21 years. So I did listen to a lot of Nina Simone to just help me through that time, and I found that really helpful. So any of her tracks would take me back to that time of helping me through that period of time when my sister moved. Obviously, no problem, and it's fantastic, but in terms of her, moving on with her life.
But why Nina Simone? Why Nina Simone?
I don't know.
I
don't know the answer, and I think it was something I just wanted to be quiet and reflect on my own feelings and come to terms with, okay, I don't have this person in my life 24/7 like I did, and she's got married and she's happy, and I'm really, really pleased for her. But obviously I had a huge void in my life at that time, and I just found this piece of music, and I must have just turned the radio on at that time and just heard it, just lie on my bed, and it was just, it would just take me to a contemplative place, really. So it's like contemplation music and sort of mindfulness, and it was just allowing me to think and allowing me to come to terms with Kate's getting married and kind of moving out of home, of the family home. So that was sort of helped me through it, really.
Every song, it's a story. We
absolutely, right? Yeah.
Speak some story, and that's why some songs, even of the same artist, they relate in our life, and we're more connected than with the others, right? And this I'm kind of interested, like, were there any songs that really spoke the story of, or similarly, they spoke the story of your life in that particular moment? Was there anything like that?
Yeah, there was. I've done many sort of half marathons and marathons and things in my life, and I completed the Prudential Ride London. And as I was going over the finishing line, when you're absolutely exhausted, I heard the song "Sandstorm" by Darude, which is a really high energy, high impact song, and I've never forgotten it. And it just, I'm smiling now. As soon as I hear that song, I've got it in my head, it just takes me to going over that finishing line with my friend of, wow, what an achievement, we did so well. And I play it to make me feel motivated to do a huge achievement like that again. So normally a sort of sporting activity, and if I put that music on, it makes me feel like I can do anything. I could.
Because we can't do anything. You can't do anything, right? Can't you?
Yeah. So that's a really good song. And just going back to my childhood, I mentioned about Buddy Holly, and my parents used to dance with each other around the house to Buddy Holly Rave On, and my dad used to sing it to my mum, and we used to clap and just clapping. I think we were trying to dance, but we were just jumping up and down or whatever we were doing as small children. But that just takes me back to a wonderful, happy childhood, that song as well. So it just reminds me of my dad dancing with my mum around the kitchen in our house.
Is there anything that you would like to do regarding music?
Yeah, well, my daughter and I, because I wanted to help her read music as a child, because I think it's a really good skill to have. And we started violin lessons when she was quite believe she was about 6 or 7, and we used to go to a private lady, and she used to teach both of us violin, and we both had violins. And to me, it's unfinished business. Evie didn't want to do it anymore because she took up a different sport, and it's unfinished business. It's something I would love to do because it's a beautiful instrument. Mm-hmm. And I know people think, oh, it's only got 4 strings, so it's going to be really easy, but it's not. It's a very complex instrument, and it is stunning when you can play something, absolutely stunning. To me, it's unfinished business. It's something that I'll do when I'm older and retired, perhaps, and I'd love to at least get to grade 3 or 4 with the violin, so yes.
Do you feel that that learning music could be also a good skill for the women or for the people you're looking after day-to-day life when you go work?
I know what the benefits it brought me when I was a young child in learning to play music, and like I said, it's still unfinished business. But I certainly know that for somebody who's been through some awful situations in terms of domestic abuse, it's a universal language as well. So you don't have to have any sort of pre-enrollment or any precondition or any pre-knowledge. It's there. You've just got to know the gaps in the lines of what note sits on what gap in what line, and just understand that on your instrument. So I think like I said, it's universal. Anybody can use it and anybody can learn it, and it's not so difficult. It's just, you've got to, obviously it's like any hobby and anything, you've got to put the time in and you've got to want to do it. And I think it can transform people and bring an immense amount of pleasure. And the hours and hours my dad put into his practice, but the beautiful music that I heard every night going to sleep was amazing. I just knew that it was his escapism, because he had quite a high-powered job, and it was his escapism.
So forget all the pain, forget all the tears. There's no one to blame, just try to believe. You don't have to scream, you don't need to pray, you may even forgive. Find love is the way, is the only way. Yes, I found my way in, I feel it, and I am not only just dreaming, I'm doing my things straight. Because if you've never felt it yet, let me your hands. Why don't we just fall in love, simply fall in love? Oh, well, because it seems impossible. Let's just fall in love. Baby, don't you know life is really short, shorter than you know. Let's just fall in love, make it easy, go. Let's just fall in love. Just because it seems impossible. Why don't we just fall in love, simply fall in love? Well, because it seems impossible. Why don't we just fall in love, simply fall in love? Because it seems impossible.
When you were learning music, the musical skills, when you were learning playing, what other skills except music, except playing, what did you learn when you were learning music? Except music, despite the music.
Okay, so I learned to listen to my dad. I learned to listen very well to my dad and follow instruction, and not to be scared of getting it wrong. that's, I think, one of the key things is it doesn't matter if you've hit the wrong note. As long as you know you've hit the wrong notes.
How about patience? How about patience? Did you learn?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think my dad had oodles amounts of patience with us for trying to teach us music. So yes, definitely patience and robustness and resilience to go back and try. If you don't succeed, go and try again. You won't fail. You just keep going back and keep trying again. You know, he always told us that fail is first attempt in learning. That's the acronym, what it means. So it's your first attempt. Go and try again.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, despite all this joy, obviously, that we've got when we're learning music, and finally when we play the piece of music or sing the piece of music that sounds good, or I mean satisfying, that this is one thing, but there's between the lines we learn a lot of different life skills learning music, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
And
the ultimate is to bring a melody or something together so that you can play a tune, you know, from start to finish, and that's your goal, isn't it? That's what you wanted to do every time you pick up that instrument or play that piece of music, is to be able to achieve that, and that's the driving force behind it. And that's, you want to see the whole thing. So, you know, every week you break it down and you do a little bit and you do another few bars and you do this and you struggle with that sort of on the fret or something, and then it's beautiful when you can put it, and you've got such a massive sense of achievement. I used to watch Sharon Corr off of the Corrs, and the way that she could play is just unbelievable, and I used to just watch her, and she was my sort of goal to be able to play at least one of the Irish tunes that the Corrs play, and it was so complicated but such an amazing.
Right now we are working for women mainly for women, but also for men who've been affected with domestic abuse, and helping them in so many different ways. Would you see music as a helpful tool in what you're doing now?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a therapeutic, it's a therapeutic sort of service that would support many women who are going through domestic abuse, and I think it would be really, really beneficial to them to either get involved in music if they haven't done so before. You know, like I said, you don't need any pre-qualifications to be involved at any point in your life, is to help you through this. And you know, we know of many people who music has helped them to, as part of their recovery. And if they have a passion and you know, they want to be supported, and I'm sure that, you know, there's many organisations like yourself, Luiza, and Sounds Like Women, who would support them into helping them through their darkest hour, and their part of their recovery program is with music, and whatever that format may be, whether it's singing, whether it's writing, whether it's playing a piano, learning a piano, you know, starting off, it would be welcomed, and I definitely support that.
Thank you, Emma. It's been absolute pleasure to have you, and thank you for sharing with us your journey with music. And I really hope you'll learn violin sooner than later, right? Don't put it too long, okay? Don't put it
no, okay, Louise.
No, just do it. If not tomorrow, do it as soon as possible. I tell you.
I will. It's unfinished business.
Okay. Well, I'll remind you that.